Hello, everyone, and welcome to Migrant Munch. My name is Dr. Sharika Senamiratna, and I'll be your host on this podcast. Let's dive into today's story. Welcome, everyone, to an episode of the Migrant Munch. I've got Tanush here today, and I'm not going to spoil your introduction, Tanush. I know we've talked a lot already, so I know a lot about you, but I'll hand over to you to introduce yourself to everyone.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Tanush Pratipat. I'm a Sri Lankan by roots in Australia to build a better myself and a marketer by profession, a storyteller by heart, and someone who's documenting the mess and the magic of becoming that person I always wanted to be, which is a better human being. And I'm really excited for this conversation with you today.
Thanks so much. I love that. That's like, I think, a perfect elevator pitch, I'm gonna say. You just like
Thank you.
sold everything you did in like under, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds or something like that.
I have to because that's my profession. I need to I need to be very precise and very short of what I'm doing. And I think that's
Hmm.
the art of marketing.
You probably use a lot of psychology at work.
I think it is a part of it, part of understanding what the customer actually wants. So I
Mm.
think like me being not just a marketer, I worked in sales, also marketing, customer service. I've got a lot of things in my plate. That's where like when I came to Australia, I got an opportunity to actually work around all these industries.
Mhm.
And I think that's what something I've built throughout my time in Australia, and I'm very grateful for that.
So you said you came from Sri Lanka. Give me the elevator pitch of who you were before you came to Australia.
Awesome. So I was that kid who your mother warned not to be around with while I was I was a very naughty kid, but then again, I was very dedicated to my passion. I'm not a person who was brought up saying that you have to study, you have to study, you have to study. My parents gave me the freedom to say that, oh, even though you don't study, you can do whatever you want as long as you get to where you want to become. We as parents are not going to tell you what you have to become. But then again, we give you the freedom to do whatever you want as long as you are a better person. I think that's what made me like get into self-development and all of that since I came to this country. And yeah, so when I was in Sri Lanka, I studied at SLIIT. I did my bachelor's in business administration. I was a very naughty kid then too. That's like going back to maybe 5 to 7 years actually. I always had that thought like, oh, like there's something missing because I always wanted to like better myself in my career, in myself, and all of that. So I got an opportunity due to COVID where my father was like, okay, now you have an opportunity to either be in this country, you can do some business, you have the skills to do, you can go to a work and you can do that, or you can still go to another country. I've got siblings, I've got a brother and a
Mm.
little sister. So I was like, okay, I don't want to be a burden to my father now because I did not have a job and jobs were very tough that time. And I told my dad, okay, dad, I'm gonna go to Australia. And my dad was like, okay, so what do you want to do next? And then I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just got this idea into my head like few weeks ago. My father told me this. I was like, okay, then I started searching, okay, what I'm going to do. And then I got an opportunity from SLIT. I got a scholarship. I got picked to do my master's here. So I did my master's in marketing. And happy to say, I did it all by myself. I got awarded the Dean's List on in 2023, which
Oh my
was
gosh.
very, very exciting because I never thought to myself that I could actually do something so big because masters it's a lot to work with, and the fact that you don't have that support. I was talking to you before in Sri Lanka, the community is you can find it, but then again it's not the same kind of vibe you get there. It's just
Mm.
like you for yourself, right? So I got that opportunity. I did it. I got my master's, made my parents happy. I'm very proud of that. And it's been a very tough journey looking for jobs, especially in Sydney, because the market is very saturated.
Mm.
And yeah, it's been tough, but then again, I do freelance marketing for my own clients at the moment, and also I do work with a lot of things which I love the most. I love motorsports. I do work for Eastern Creek Karting. I do have my own media. I would not say a company, a passion project. I would say I'm
Yeah.
very happy with what I've done to until today, and I'm very happy And I'm not putting myself down because I do not have a job, because I know for a fact that my skills could work me through life in any country or in any part of the world. So I'm very positive with it, and I will never let that thing put me down.
Congratulations, firstly,
Thank
on the dean's list. Like, oh my gosh, that's a big achievement, and your parents would have been so proud. I can just imagine Sri Lankan parents and how much they would have just been so proud of you, being a naughty kid and coming all this way and doing all of that.
Especially for me, because like I was like probably like when I was schooling, I was probably like there were 30 kids in the class. I was probably the 25th kid. I was not the 30th, luckily. But then again, like it might be a small thing, like people would say, like, like everyone can get a this, but it's tough. Like it's tough, especially like when you have no one around you and no family support around you at that time. Like you like especially like when you're working a few jobs, and like you're in a new country, you got to cook, you got to do all your stuff to yourself. It's just you for yourself. So that is probably one of my biggest achievements I've got while during my studies, and I'm very happy for that.
That's amazing. That's so sweet and so rewarding as well. Especially, I know how hard it is when you move and then you have to do everything by yourself, and you leave behind everything that was comfortable,
Mm.
and you have to do those things, but you've also got other aspirations. So it seems like you've done such a brilliant job of bringing it all together and just surviving. But I'm also very interested to know what really inspired you to get into self-development, because it sounds a lot, and you've talked about that a lot, about how passionate you are about self-development and looking after yourself. What brought that passion on?
It was still like by experience, I would say. I never used to like journal, or I never used to listen to a podcast, or I never used to like, like close my eyes and sit on one place and do all these things while I was in Sri Lanka. The first day I landed here, I realized like how many things I missed in life, because
Mm,
like I did not have anything coming for me. I just like I said, it was just me for myself, right? So at that point I was like, okay, I mean, it's just not me here for myself. There's like a lot of people in this country are here for themselves. And like I was like, how are they doing it? And then I started like researching. I called a few of my friends. I had one of my friend who always tells me how journaling works. So at that time, I instantly called him. I had a chat with him. I was like, bro, I know that this is not going to sound so well, but then again, I really want some pictures of how you journal,
yeah.
because I knew for a fact that he's going to send it to me, right? He was my very close friend, and I always thank him for that, because like that's something which I like always I wish I knew earlier in my
Yeah.
life, but I never knew that until I got this experience of feeling lonely, of feeling I won't say depressed, but then again like feeling sad of not having people around you. Like me being a social person, like I really wanted that thing for me, but then again I did not have it. So I went finding things like which could make me a better person. I started listening to podcasts. I would like to emphasize a few podcasts to you. The Mindset Mentor, he's really
Mhm.
good. The Mindset Mentor, Mel Robbins. Currently, I listen to Mel Robbins a lot. And Jay Shetty, they were my
Mhm.
go-to for self-development, just because I was able to relate their stories to me as well, on how they went through all of these things, how they went through addiction, to be honest too. And all those kind of stories I put all together. I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. And now I make content, trying to show people what I do every day, so that people who watch me, like I'm sure my friends would actually watch me, so that they would get an understanding. Okay, if Tanush can do this, why can't I do this? If that
Mm.
not kid is this person today, why can't I be that kid? So my friends' reactions, how they reacted to all my content, they were very supportive. They were like, bro, your content inspires me every day to at least like go out for a run, to like at
Mm.
least like write journal. I think that's what like actually motivates me to do better every day too. And I think it's a ripple effect all the time. What you do comes back to you in a good way. So I always believe in that, and that's what keeps me going every day.
Amazing. And it's so lovely to hear someone actually believe in self-care and self-development, particularly when we come from Sri Lanka. It's not really done as much, I'd say. I think it depends. Like as kids or like when you're in your 20s, you don't really think about it as much. And so I think, like you said, when you come here, you get opened up to all these other things that you could potentially look at. So if
Yeah.
you're like journaling in Sri Lanka, some people might be like, what do you mean? Like you just sit and write?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
I've got I've got that question a lot of times
Yeah.
from my friends too. Even like a lot of friends like tell me, bro, you're faking it, right? You're faking for your videos. Like, are you actually doing it? Are you like really doing it? Like, are you like just doing the thing for the video and then are you like closing your book and are you like just going away? I have friends like that too. But then again, like what I tell to them is like at the end of the day, like I know what I'm doing for myself. I know what my journey is all about because like other people's opinions just go to the trash can for me. Okay. Because everyone will have their own opinions. They're going on their self journey.
Yeah.
They will go through all those hardships. They would not understand how they might hurt other people by their words, their actions, and all of that. But I always told them that. And like as soon as I got into personal development, I realized that if you want someone to act a certain way to you, you have to not expect them to be that certain person, but then again, you have to act and show them that, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want from you. You don't have to expect that from them, but then again, you being that person to them actually helps a lot and it helps you mentally as well, right?
I love that. And I heard a lot of things come up that I read in the Let Them theory, which you mentioned, Mel
Yeah.
Robbins.
I still haven't read her book yet, but I really want to read it. I'm a very slow reader. Even though I like try to read 10 pages, it's very hard for me. But I'm very happy that I at least try to do certain kind of activities, which actually makes me feel a lot better on a daily basis.
Like it's interesting that you said that you don't you're a slow reader and you read 10 pages a day. I think people have this idea that oh, if you read a book you've got to like read for hours and hours a day or something like that, right? And it's normal, like you've got to be able to find what works for you. So like you read 10 pages a day, I actually read 10 pages a day as well, and like my aim is to read a book a month. So in your opinion, what do you think are the most like low effort top five self-care, self-development activities that you can recommend to people where they so that they don't make excuses. They're not like it's too hard to do. What are the top five?
The first thing is journaling. I think
Hmm.
journaling is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. I would not suggest you to do it on digital, but then again, try your best to write it down because that's what we are all about. We humans, we have to, do all of those things which we are meant to do rather than just tapping it on the phone because you're gonna anyways gonna get distracted while you're doing that. You will never like, you will not do it. I don't know, I've never tried it, but then again, like for me, it's writing has always worked. The second best thing I would say is to actually read. Read books which could develop you, which could make you feel better. A book which I read, which actually helped me a lot as soon as I came to Australia, was Atomic Habits
Mm.
by James Clear. That was a really good book for me. The next one I would say is to always keep yourself active. Go out for a run or get some gym time or at least go for a walk, right? What else do I do to better myself? What are the other five? I'm actually curious. Reading, reading, getting yourself healthy. I think I stick to all three,
Yeah.
all three. And also, I think the best tools is like put yourself in the picture, talk to people.
Mm.
Talking helps a lot. Like putting out yourself or even like talking to yourself in the mirror, having some time for yourself to talk to yourself in the mirror. It might sound weird, but then again, the conversations you have with yourself with the mirror is probably the best things you could ever do. It has helped me a lot. And the fifth one, find everything which happens to you as a lesson rather than
Mm.
a problem which has occurred to you. I think those five are probably the five best things I could say for self-development from my point of view.
It is hard. Everyone goes through so many different types of stresses, especially in this day and age. I think with social media and what you get exposed to, people kind of feel like they have to be a certain person. And just from our conversation now, you've already said like people are like, "Oh, you're just faking it for your videos," and you're like, "No, I'm genuinely doing it." And so it's okay to be that authentic self, which we talked about even
I
offline.
mean, like no matter what content you do, people are gonna like start putting you down. That there are gonna be
Mm.
some people who are actually gonna like support you, and there are some people who would like gonna put you down. But then again, at the end of the day, it's all their journeys too. You gotta feel for the person who's like giving you support. He's probably like going through a good journey. The person who's putting you down is probably not going through such a good journey. But then again, I don't have to worry about that because I understand from my perspective that, okay, this person is going through that, this person is going through that. Likewise, I'm going through this too. So I think like standing in the middle and standing neutral to all of those things without like thinking like, oh, is he putting me down? Because I think thinking of overthinking is not going to help you at all at that
No,
time.
for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, it is hard, and as migrants, as people come from different cultures, sometimes it's hard as well. Did you sort of feel like conflicted in how you grew up to what you became when you were here in terms of prioritizing your self-care, self-development?
That's what I always tell my people that change is the only constant. You can't always be the same person who you were yesterday. And I
Mm.
think that's what evolves us as humans, right? We can't always be that same person who I was yesterday. Ever since I came to Australia, I've worked a lot with Australians.
Mm.
And I could not like there was a barrier where I could not like okay I can't be that person anymore because they will not understand or they will not value who I am for what I'm doing at the moment. It's not like I'm trying to be a different person. It's just that I'm trying to adapt to the culture,
Yeah.
right? So me being here like few years ago, I might not have sounded the same way because as soon as I got here, I got an opportunity to work as a brand ambassador for certain brands. So
Yeah.
that's where you go speak to a lot of people and you work in the front line. You say that you literally like go speak. All I had to do was to speak from 8 to 5. Literally.
Mm.
I got no breaks to be in between of not speaking. Like me being me, I love to speak.
Yeah.
And the reason I actually joined that job is the fact that I wanted to improve my communication skills. And I think I've done a better job as long as you can understand what I'm speaking today.
Yeah. I love how authentic you are, Tanush. Like, it's just amazing to see you be so open about the fact that, you were a naughty kid when you were growing up. And while you're doing your bachelor's, probably like in your, early, well, late teens, early 20s. And then you came here and completely transformed your life to kind of prioritize yourself and, work on yourself, which is a full circle journey, really, to becoming a better you, as you said.
Yeah, but I think like I'm still that naughty kid like within me, but then again, I know my boundaries. I know these are the things which I should not be doing. These are the things which if I do it, I might hurt another person. At the end of the day,
Mm.
we all humans. So I've set myself boundaries. I don't think that I've become a good boy. I'm still that naughty kid. If I go home, I'm still that very naughty kid at my house. But then again, like I think it's just an upgraded version of myself.
I'm really curious now to ask, what was the craziest thing you've done? Like you say you were such a naughty kid and you were, always up to no good. What's the craziest thing that you have done on record, obviously?
On record, the craziest thing I've done. I would not say it was the craziest thing, but then again, to mark how naughty I was when I was a kid, I think I got a scar here in my face. While I was at home, my mom asked me to like sit on a couch because she was very busy in the kitchen. She was doing a lot of things in the kitchen. I used to blame her for that, but now since I've grown up, I stopped blaming her for that because I know it was me. I was being that naughty, was very small. Like a little, like my mom told me not, do not come. It's a very dangerous place. Do not come here. I literally did not listen to my mom. I was playing in the kitchen. I just walked straight into her. I crashed onto a pot of full of oil, and then that just like tipped over me. And that this is probably the mark on I could say that okay, I'm this naughty. And I think even this car, it made me who I am today because I've been going through a lot of criticism for having a scar in my face. I think a lot of
Okay.
people did not know it until today. The name calling, my friends used to call me, even like the teachers, they used to call me, oh, that kid with the scar on his face. All that
Mm.
made me a very strong person mentally. I always go home and I tell mom I need to get a hair transplant. I need to get a transplant. I need to get a transplant. My mom used to tell me like, yes, I will do it for you. But then again, around the local area, just see how many people like have like they have cuts here, they have cuts
Mm.
there. Oh, they like I've seen people like that. I've seen like people with half of their head inside. And then I used
Oh
to think, if
gosh.
they could go through that in their life, why can't I? Why am I worried about a small scar? Why am I worried about other people's opinions about who I am? Like, even though I have a scar, I'm still that same person, right? Give me that one lesson. That one lesson, ever since that day, I was like, nah, I don't want it. Like, even when I go to a barber, he still like they tell me like, bro, you can get a hair transplant. Why not doing it? I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. At that time, I would probably think about it, but not now. And I think that's what actually made me mentally a stronger person for criticism. Where I've been called a lot of names, a lot of these things. I've had like when you go to school, you can't go with long hair. You
Mm.
have to cut it short in Sri Lanka. So I think that actually made me a very strong person mentally. There's a lot of things I've gone through in my life. A lot of
Yeah.
things.
You can
A
tell
lot.
me off the record. Yeah, we
Okay.
can
Yeah.
talk about it off the record. So wait,
Okay.
are you the middle child?
Yes, I am.
You give major middle child vibes, Tanush. Yeah.
I am that kid. You say that I give you the major middle
Oh, the
child.
naughty kid. The middle children are always the naughty kids, right? That's why. And you said you have siblings, and you said I've got a brother and I've got a little sister. So I was like, middle child. Here we go. Yes.
A lot of drama, a lot of love, a lot of this thing. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I think the middle child is probably the most loved and the most favorite child of the house. You
Yeah.
can't prove me wrong. Because
Well, look,
I got a 28-year-old brother and I've got a sister who's 22 years old now. They both say the same thing. Oh, the favorite child has come home.
there you go.
That's
Makes sense.
wrong.
I will not disagree with that, but what I will say in defense of as a older child, I'm the eldest in the family. I'm the lab rat. I'm the oldest child, right? So you got lucky.
I think I got a little lucky. Like, yeah, fair enough. Because I grew in a way like you said, the lab rat thing. My brother used to like do all the bad stuff and used to get caught at home. And then I used to look like him and oh, okay, if I do that, I'm gonna get home. So what I'm gonna do in a different way where I would not get caught at home.
Yeah.
And then I never got caught. Then my sister, like the last sister, I think they're the most favorite in the family. But then again, I've took over that position now, and I
Yeah.
always say the fact that she was adopted for some reason. Like that's the brothers do, right? If you have two
Yeah.
brothers, that's sister. She's always adopted. Like you stop, you stop.
Mm.
Your conversation is not valid here. But I'm very proud of her. She's grown up so much to a person who I really appreciate and I actually look up to now.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of
That's
her.
so sweet. I love that. Yeah, I used to always tell my youngest brother that he was adopted as well when he was a kid, and I used to always get told off from my mum. But yeah, it's been great to have you on the podcast and to talk about your journey and to see how authentic you are. And I hope this podcast has inspired people to really focus on their self-development and self-care as well. I think is a big part of that because we never really sometimes have time to stop and look after ourselves because we're so busy looking after other people or just running through the motions of work and studying, especially as migrants when you have all sorts of pressure and uncertainty. And so it's been lovely to have you on the podcast to talk about this.
Thank you so much, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm very thankful for it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Migrant Munch. If you really liked what you heard today, reach out to us, get in touch, tell us what really inspired you, and we'd love to connect with you and hear more about your story.